Hello again. Today I am here with a book haul. So this is my horror and thriller book haul with a couple of non-fiction books that deal with some darker subjects, I guess. First book I'm going to talk about is A Head Full of Ghosts. So this is another Paul Tremblay book. I've read Disappearance at Devil's Rock. I'm going to be reading another Paul Tremblay book for the Books in the Freezer podcast readathon, and I decided I might as well pick this book up as well. I've heard a lot of good things about it, and I'm looking forward to it. Another book I picked up in the thriller category here would be Hidden Bodies by Carolyn Kepnes. This is a sequel to You. So I loved You, and I did want to read this after realizing it was a sequel. So I finally picked it up, and I am looking forward to diving into this book. Next book I'm going to talk about is Fight or Fright. This is an anthology series that Cemetery Dance puts out that Stephen King was a part of, about 17 stories, I guess, dealing with airplanes and horror stories. So I definitely wanted to pick this up. There's that one. Also, there was a sale recently at Barnes & Noble, not the book haul sale, but a members sale. If you're a member of Barnes & Noble, you got 20% discount as opposed to the normal 10%. So a couple of books were pretty cheap if you added that extra 10%. So I decided to pick up a couple of thriller books. So I picked up this Shari LaPena's An Unwanted Guest, which wound up becoming 40% off the regular price. I've only read A Stranger in the House by her. I do want to read The Couple Next Door, and now I have this one as well. And an author I've heard a lot mentioned on BookTube that I haven't read any of her books. When I saw again I could get it for 40% off, I decided to pick this up. This is Karen Slaughter, Pieces of Her. I don't really know much about the stories. I haven't actually read them, but I just wanted to pick it up and see what all the hype is about. There's that one as well. And the last one I picked up at that big 20% off book sale. I almost picked this up when they had it for 50% off, but I didn't pick it up. And when I saw I could basically get it for 50% off, I decided I might as well pick it up. So this is the Bill Clinton, James Patterson, The President is Missing story. I believe this is probably more action thriller related, and I am curious about reading this. And again, I got it for 50% off, so I decided that it was just a deal that was too good to pass up, so I picked it up. Now I want to talk about two non-fiction books that I picked up as well. Kind of getting myself ready for non-fiction November. First one is The Witches, Salem 1692, about the Salem witch trials. I've heard a couple of people mention this on BookTube, so I am kind of interested in reading this. I got that one at a bargain price as well. And another book that I did live through, which was nice to actually see some books about it, is Satanic Panic. During the 1980s, there was a lot of more majority Christians kind of started attacking a lot of the pop culture in the 80s, and this book covers that. Besides also some of the darker times where there were stories about daycare centers and basically demonic cults that everyone saw everywhere, and some very high profile stories. So this is an interesting book, has a wonderful amount of cool pictures in it as well. So it sounds like a really interesting book, you know, about the music and about movies and about, you know, the D&D and people worried about He-Man. I mean, this stuff even went, I remember, into Harry Potter times as well, where, you know, people thought that Harry Potter was bringing their kids into Satanism, along with Lord of the Rings. I mean, you could only read C.S. Lewis, and that was pretty much it if you were a kid to be safe. Otherwise, any kind of fantasy story, automatically, you know, you would throw Satan on it. So I am interested in reading this book. It seems like a nice trip down memory lane for me, and perfect for November. So that is Satanic Panic. And the last book I'm going to talk about here is a beautiful, beautiful looking book. This is Grady Hendrix's latest book, and it is called We Sold Our Souls, which is basically kind of about a singer who makes a deal with the devil. Now, if you look at this book, besides having these wonderful black edges, which really makes the book look cool, the inside dust jacket has this writing where it is actually backwards writing. If you hold this up to a mirror, you'll be able to read this. And that is just so cool. If you know anything, again, speaking of the Satanic Panic and speaking of the 1980s, they were always looking for backwards lyrics. And some bands did have backwards music in it. I remember famously Prince actually had some backwards lyrics on his music that praised God, which was kind of cool for the people who always thought that was like satanic. But like I said, I just love the way this book looks, and I can't wait to read this book. So it is We Sold Our Soul by Grady Hendrix. These again are all the books that I'm covering in this book haul. Thanks again for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.